Hey guys, Tech here for another video, and today we're going to be talking about something very different than my usual video topic. So today we're going to be talking about a hack that I came up with on how you can essentially get all of the blockage in your AC pipes completely cleared for a really inexpensive price versus having to purchase separate equipment. There's different routes you can take. There are automated machines that can pull that stuff through your vent or through your pipes. That can get expensive, and also you have to set it up. A lot of people pay someone to come set that up. There's also the option of using different chemicals and things like that to get all of the blockage out of your pipes. I wanted to create this because I haven't seen any good videos online that show you how to actually clear your pipes, automated as well, and to keep them clean. So I came up with a solution that I'm going to talk about. So what I've done here is put everything together, super simple, step by step, so that you can do this at home, and really want to hear comments from anyone that actually tries this to see if it works for you guys. So you can see here on the screen, I've kind of outlined what you'll need in terms of all of the costs here. It comes out to, I think, around $75 at the most, but give or take, obviously, depending on what particular supplies you're buying, could be a little bit more, a little bit less, but overall this is going to be way cheaper than if you're buying the standard stuff that you would usually expect. So the first thing you need is a shop vac. The one that I'm going to have in the description, if you use that link, it's about a $35 shop vac, give or take, depending on the time that you're watching this video. You'll need a lighter, that's about $10, a pack of balloons, a nail, some duct tape, and then the final thing you'll need, which is also in the description, is this thing called the SwitchBot Smart Plug. And what that's going to do is it's going to plug into your outlet, and it's going to give you the ability to manually schedule times to turn on and off the power to your outlet. So I'll talk about that more in a second. But let's go ahead and go to the first step. I've sort of just made it super simple here. I didn't want to record it because I thought that'd be a little bit difficult to do. So just to kind of demonstrate what you're doing, super simple. First thing you need to do, put some gloves on. You're going to heat the end of a nail. And again, you got to purchase a pack of nails, however you want to do it. Doesn't matter what nail you use, just any standard nail, you can heat the end of it. And the idea here is you're going to push that nail through any bottom part of the shop vac so that you're going to make a hole in it, which is going to be how you're going to drain the water as it comes in. You're going to allow it to basically automatically drain all that water out when it's not sucking anything through those pipes. So the second step here, again, is what I just described. We're essentially just pushing that nail once it's heated up through the bottom part here. And if you look just towards the bottom here, this is where you're going to want to go. You're going to want to push that nail through the bottom part of the shop vac so that it's going to make a hole. Now you can do this one time. That's what I did. You can also make several holes across the bottom, as many as you'd like, to make sure that it drains extra well. When I did just one hole, I did find that it does tend to hold water more. So you might want to make multiple holes. Just keep in mind you're going to need balloons to cover that to allow it, when it's sucking up, to hold the pressure. You'll need to put balloons over each of those. I'll talk about that in a second. But as many holes as you'd like on the bottom here. And then that comes to step 3. Step 3, you're going to cut the balloon. It doesn't have to be a perfect shape. All you're doing is cutting somewhat of a rectangular shape. You're simply taping that little piece of rubber. You could really use anything. You could use any rubber material, but this just seems to work really well. You're essentially taping loosely, and you can see what I've done here is I've done one piece of tape here and one piece of tape here, but on the top and the bottom. What you'll notice is I've left that free. I haven't taped those because you want those to be free whenever there's no pressure, when you're not basically sucking anything up, which we're going to automate. You want the water to just leak through here. And so that's going to allow it to automatically completely drain what's in the shop vac out of your unit. And so then that comes to step 4. So step 4 is super simple. All you're doing is you're hooking up the device that I have in the comments. That's that smart plug. You're hooking that up to your outlet, which hopefully you have one that's really near your AC pipe. If you don't have a plug near the AC pipe where you're putting the shop vac, then what you're going to want to do is get an extension cable, and you'll want to link that up to the nearest outlet so that you have something that's connecting to your shop vac. And then of course you're going to want to have that on 24/7 connected. But what you can see here is that this piece, this black piece, this is the tip from the shop vac. It's plugged into the smart plug. And then this is the extension cable that I have plugged into the outlet that's near the AC pipe. The idea here is, again, that you're going to have that shop vac always connected to the smart plug. And once you turn it on the first time, once you have it scheduled, it's going to start pulling all of that stuff through the pipe. But then when you schedule it to automatically shut off power, then even though you're going to have the shop vac constantly in an on mode, because this will shut off power to here, it's going to act as though it's turning on and off the button to the AC to the shop vac rather. Okay, so step 5 is we're going to start going into the app. And so once you have that smart plug connected, what you're going to do is you're going to actually download the app. So you can see here, it's the SwitchBot app by Wonder Labs. And once you open this up, what you can see here in the interface is you have the ability to do quite a few things, which is pretty cool. So first, if you go to the schedule option right here, it's going to take you to this menu, and what you'll be able to do is you can click on the add option and you can add set times. So what I've done, I've got just some examples here, but I actually have it scheduled every single day to go off at about 5 p.m. just because that's a good time where it's not going to wake anyone up. And it's something where I can hear it going, so I know it's working. So I schedule it just once a day, and I schedule it at 5 p.m. and I schedule it for about 60 seconds. 60 seconds, it doesn't seem like much, but that's just enough to pull whatever's in there out, to get things moving, and to keep it from getting blocked up. Now, if I go there just before it does the pump, I'll find that oftentimes during the summer especially, that pipe will get clogged, and so it might actually still have some water retained in there, but then as soon as it does the pump at 5 p.m., it'll pull all that stuff out and it'll be clear until the next day. So you can do that, you can do the schedule. The other cool thing that you'll see later on, you have logs. So that's gonna allow you to actually see that it was successful. You can see when the last time it turned on was, so that way if for some reason the device is not working, it loses connection, or if your shop vac's not working, you'll be able to see whether it's actually activated within the past 24 hours. You can set a delay, or if you wanna just check and make sure at that moment that it's working, if you just tap with your finger on this off on option here, you can just tap here and it'll actually turn the device on, and then you can tap it again to immediately turn it off. So you can actually start this anytime. If you think or suspect that it's blocked, just tap it, turn it on, let it go ahead and do its work, and you can tap it to turn it off. Okay, so here is just a sample or an example. What you're gonna want is the shop vac, and this might not be the specific one that you have, or the one that's more inexpensive that I've recommended. But again, whatever shop vac you're using, you're gonna wanna make sure that it's constantly connected to the pipe. So it's always gonna be connected. You're gonna have those holes at the bottom of the shop vac. Now again, this is going to render the shop vac probably not useful for other tasks, but that's the reason I got this $35 shop vac, because it is expendable for me. I'm spending very little on it because that's gonna be my dedicated shop vac. All its purpose is gonna be is just to drain this pipe on a daily basis. So you're gonna have this connected here. You could tape it to that pipe if you needed to, but mine, I actually just took this top part off and I have it over the top, so it just sits on there. So it's constantly sitting and it's able to pull everything through. Okay, so here's just showing a little bit more. This is just showing the logs. As I mentioned, what you'll notice here is that you can see when it turns on, when it turns off every single day. You'll be able to see on this screen over here that you have a similar kind of thing where you can just tap on this power option to turn it on and off. You can see the wattage that's being used by the device. So lots of really good information that you can use, but effectively, again, you're just scheduling this to turn on every day and then auto shut off. and then you have the ability to, anytime you want, turn it on and off if you need to. And here, finally, I have a little video just to play for you. There's no audio, but what I wanted to show you, what I'm doing here, is I'm effectively scheduling it. So I'm scheduling it to turn on here, and then I'm adding that time here. And if I go back to my camera, what you'll see here is it's actually started this. So it started the pump, and it's actually pulling from the pipe here. And then it's going to automatically turn off here in a second. So I just started recording on my camera here. You can kind of hear that's coming from my computer here that's playing the video. It's actually pumping. And in this case, what I did is I just turned it off and saved it. And it actually turned off the shop vac. But what you can do as well, if you wanted to just test it, is again, just tap the on-off button. That will do the same thing here, but effectively, again, all I am doing is just simply turning it on and off very quickly to demonstrate how easily you can control that mechanism. Okay, so that's really all there is to it. Again, all you're doing is creating holes in your shop vac to allow it to auto drain. What's going to happen is, as you have that little piece of balloon taped to the outside of the hole, when the shop vac turns on, it's going to pull that rubber close to the hole, and it's going to seal it so that it has pressurization, and that's going to allow it to pull all that water through the AC pipe. Once the shop vac turns off, it's going to release the pressure, and that balloon is going to rest not too close to the shop vac, so water will leak out of it slowly. But again, because I'm doing this only once a day, even if it fills up all the way to maximum capacity, if you make several holes, by the time it gets to the next day, all that water will have automatically drained. So you want to make sure that you leave the shop vac somewhere where you don't mind that water just draining to the side. And even if it doesn't drain all the way, as long as your pipes aren't way too clogged, it'll be able to hold capacity. It won't completely fill the shop vac. You'll probably want to do the first time, you want to clean it out and then just empty it. And after you empty it that first time, then I would set it up, put the holes in there, and make sure that it's ready to go. And if you do this day by day, I've been doing this now for almost a year. I've never had an issue. The only thing I've had to do is one time disconnect and reconnect the cable because it lost connection once. But for a year now I've been doing this, never had an issue, never had to call anyone to come out and fix my pipes. I used to manually pump it and try to get all of the blockage out, the algae, but now I don't have to do that, and it makes things just so much easier. So let me know what you guys think. This is my creative way to solve this problem. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.